News broke out on Earth that human explorers found traces of a hidden communication beacon near the edge of the solar system. It seemed to relay signals far beyond our range of detection. No one knew exactly where they led, but data suggested it was part of a network linking multiple star systems. Eager to learn more, a multinational team prepared an expedition to see if this beacon could reveal who else was talking across the galaxy. The mission involved top-notch engineers, cyber experts, and a small group of linguists who specialized in hypothetical alien languages. People around the world held their breath, knowing that if the expedition was successful, humans might soon speak with beings beyond our wildest dreams. While this happened, the rumor mill spun faster. Some claimed we were about to join a grand galactic council, a place where various species met to settle disputes and negotiate treaties. Others whispered about a looming war between two powerful star clusters and how Earth would be forced to pick a side. Nobody could confirm these stories, but they captured the public's imagination. Street conversations, social media posts, and talk shows were all buzzing with cosmic speculation. This sense of unity, mixed with fear, was new to us. For the first time, humanity felt like it had a shared destiny that reached beyond the horizon of Earth itself. Then came the breakthrough that changed everything. The expedition to the beacon not only succeeded, but it returned with data that pointed to an advanced civilization located around a star system we had barely studied. This civilization, known as the Ornithai, appeared to have outposts scattered across many worlds. They specialized in bioengineering and had structures that curved like living vines around their planet's surface. People were in awe of their artistry and advanced technology. More intriguing was the fact that the Ornithai seemed open to contact. Their encoded signals didn't just talk to their own species. They extended an open invitation for dialogue, as if they were waiting for anyone to respond. It was a chance for humans to step right into the heart of an established interstellar community. That's when the real scramble began. Leading governments and private organizations each wanted to be the first to communicate with the Ornithai. Disagreements flared. Some leaders worried about revealing too much about Earth's technology or vulnerabilities. Others insisted that if we took too long, we might miss the opportunity to form a valuable partnership. Eventually, the world reached a shaky consensus, craft a single, unified message. This message would highlight humanity's curiosity, our wish for peaceful collaboration, and our readiness to learn from cultures that have been traveling the stars for far longer than we had. It was a simple yet heartfelt message, a reflection of our hopes more than a proof of our strength. But would it be enough to earn the Ornithai's trust? When a moment finally arrived to send that transmission, the tension was intense. Scientists gathered around huge screens, eyes locked on data readouts. The message, encoded in a format the expedition team believed the Ornithai could decode, traveled through space at high speed, riding along pulses of energy. It felt like a global sporting event. People stayed awake all night, tracking progress and waiting for any sign of response. Days passed with no reply. Then weeks. Doubts started to creep in. Maybe the Ornithai had gone silent. Or perhaps they'd never meant their beacons as an invitation. Perhaps we got lost in translation, sending an unintelligible jumble to a species with a completely different sense of communication. Just when most had given up hope, the response arrived. It came as a burst of data that took experts hours to decipher. At first, it looked like pure noise, shifts in frequency that meant little to the untrained eye. But once the right pattern was found, the message revealed itself in shapes and sounds that hinted at warmth and curiosity. The Ornithai had responded positively. They admired our initiative and expressed an eagerness to learn about our society. They also added a cautious note, saying that while they were open to dialogue, they had to consider the perspectives of others in their region of space. They had alliances and obligations that might limit how much they could share. Even so, the door was open. Humanity officially had a seat at the table, however small it might be. Though this was great news, it wasn't the complete shift in galactic power some had hoped for. The Ornithai made it clear they had their own alliances and responsibilities. We wouldn't suddenly be top players just because we'd made contact. Still, it was an incredible start. To strengthen our position, we had to show real value. That's where our newfound technology came in. Our ability to create miniature quantum relays for faster-than-light communication caught the ornithopter's eye. Unlike them, who relied on large bioengineered structures, we had these compact devices that could be mass-produced back on Earth. If we could integrate this system into their existing networks, it might revolutionize communication across certain sectors of the galaxy. Even the ornithopter's allies might benefit. The potential was huge. At this point, a pivotal opportunity rose. An alliance known as the Triaster Union, which included 3 powerful species with a vast territory, invited human ambassadors to a strategic summit. Their reason for the invitation was partly curiosity. They had heard rumors of these new quantum relays. By listening to our proposal, they hoped to see if Earth really had something groundbreaking to offer. The chance to speak to the Triaster Union was a dream come true. They were known for controlling vital trade routes and holding a seat of great influence among the older cosmic powers. If we impressed them, our voice might resonate far and wide. We could carve out a real position among the stars, not by force, but by offering something genuinely useful. Getting ready for this summit required frantic preparation. We had to design a formal introduction that wouldn't bore advanced civilizations, but still explained who we were. We wanted to be respectful without appearing subservient, confident without coming across as arrogant. Our ambassadors carefully studied gestures and customs gleaned from ornithopter transmissions, hoping to avoid cultural missteps. Military experts worked in the background, making sure we had backup plans if anything went wrong. But for the most part, everyone was filled with an optimism that felt new and exciting. This could be our big break, a moment where humans went from mere newcomers to active players shaping the galaxy's future. The day of the summit finally arrived. Held within a massive dome that orbited a neutral star system, the event brought together representatives from star nations spanning countless light years. Each delegation arrived in ships with unique designs, some shaped like graceful arcs, others like intricate webs, a few like hovering fortresses. Our vessel was simpler, but it carried the potential of our new quantum relays. As the ambassadors stepped into the dome, they marveled at the swirling lights and the many forms of life gathered there. Giant, luminous creatures glided overhead, while more familiar-looking beings walked on 2 legs, wearing robes of shimmering fabric. It was a scene of wonder, and in that moment, humanity was more than just a planet full of people. We were explorers representing Earth's dreams and talents. During the summit, the Triaster Union delegates had a long list of questions. They asked about our history, the steps that led us to develop faster-than-light travel, and the details of our quantum relay tech. They also asked about our values, how we govern ourselves, and whether we had a history of waging large-scale wars. Our ambassadors responded with honesty, including the parts of our past we weren't proud of, but they emphasized our drive to learn and grow. The conversation was tense at times, but overall it left a positive impression. The Union members acknowledged that Earth had much to offer, though they insisted on evaluating how reliable and stable we were. They had seen too many species rise quickly only to fall into chaos or aggression. Just when it seemed the summit would end on a calm note, a delegate from an older, reclusive civilization named the Di stepped forward. This being revealed knowledge of a hidden region of space called the Maze Sector, a place notorious for swallowing ships due to unpredictable gravitational anomalies. According to the Di, the Maze Sector held rare materials that could be used to enhance communication devices even further, perhaps boosting them to galaxy-wide range. Many had tried and failed to harvest these materials, losing crews and ships in the process. But if humans could safely enter the Maze Sector with the help of our quantum-based technology, we might unlock a resource that no other species had fully harnessed yet. That alone could tip the balance of power. The moment the Di finished speaking, a hush fell over the gathering. Delegations exchanged glances, probably calculating what this new development meant for their own interests. You could almost feel the tension as everyone realized that if humanity could crack the code of traveling safely through the Maze Sector, we wouldn't just be a minor participant. We'd become key partners in a technological revolution that might reshape communications and commerce across entire galaxies. It was a make-or-break opportunity and a massive risk. The Maze Sector was called that for a reason. Ships vanished there. No one fully understood the gravitational tides or the space-time twists that plagued that region. If we failed, humanity could lose its best scientists and ships, setting us back decades. If we succeeded, though, we'd stand at the forefront of a new era, turning us into a force that even the biggest empires would notice that a decision had to be made quickly. Some of our experts argued that it was too soon. We had only just begun to understand interstellar relations, and diving headfirst into the most dangerous region in known space sounded reckless. Others insisted this was our destiny. If we didn't seize the chance, some other power would do it, and we'd remain second-rate. In the end, our representatives stood before the summit and accepted the challenge. They said humanity was willing to try, not because we sought domination, but because exploration and risk-taking were in our DNA. They promised to share the fruits of this discovery in a fair manner, hoping to foster goodwill. The Triaster Union delegates nodded slowly, as if they respected our bravery, even if they questioned our odds of success. Within days, the operation to explore the maze sector was underway. Skilled pilots, navigators, and scientists were selected from around the world. Special ships equipped with a new quantum relay system were built to handle extreme gravitational fluctuations. We also formed a small coalition with species that volunteered to help, including ornithine guides who had advanced knowledge of star mapping and aero-DI observers who were curious about the outcome of their own tip. This ragtag group represented a shared hope that the galaxy could evolve in a more cooperative direction, rather than being ruled by old rivalries and fear. When the exploration fleet finally set out, countless eyes across the galaxy were on them. The maze sector was close enough for data to be transmitted back, but every minute they spent in that dangerous space was a gamble. Early readings showed pockets of twisted space-time so severe that normal flight was impossible. But the quantum relays allowed for bursts of real-time analysis, letting navigators plot a path through gravitational corridors that would have been invisible without advanced math and instant feedback. Each hour felt like a week, as control stations on Earth and other planets watched the flickering signals, bracing for the possibility that they might go dark at any second. Then came the turning point. The lead ship found a stable pocket of space filled with rare crystals that emitted a faint energy signature. Analysis confirmed that these were the materials the aero-DI had hinted at. Carefully, the team collected samples, made sure they could be safely stored, and tested how they interacted with our quantum tech. The results blew everyone away. These crystals seemed to amplify signal range far beyond what we previously thought possible. If harnessed correctly, they could let a single relay station cover distances that used to require an entire network of satellites and communication nodes. This wasn't just a minor improvement. It was a leap that could redefine interstellar travel, trade, and diplomacy. With that knowledge, the team secured a path out, guided by a mix of ornithine star charts, quantum updates, and good old-fashioned human grit. When the fleet returned, the galaxy held its breath. Observers from many civilizations gathered at the neutral orbiting dome again, waiting to see proof of these incredible findings. And proof arrived. The crystals, the data logs, and successful live tests showing how communication signals could bounce across vast distances with perfect clarity. The entire hall erupted in a wave of astonishment. For a long moment, it felt like the old lines of conflict dissolved, replaced by pure wonder at what had just happened. Humans, these newcomers, had done something extraordinary. We had turned a notorious dead zone into a treasure trove, revealing a resource that could benefit countless species if used wisely. Suddenly, we were no longer on the edge of interstellar politics. We were a central player. Groups that once hesitated to talk to us now courted our attention, seeking partnerships and alliances. Old empires that once ruled without challenge realized we had something even they wanted. The question was, how would we handle this power? Would we act like conquerors, using our newfound advantage to push others around? Or would we choose collaboration, shaping a galaxy where shared knowledge and joint progress became the norm? As the dust settled, humanity stood on the cusp of a new era. We recapped the incredible journey that led us here. The early hopes of faster-than-light travel, the frantic push to create quantum relays, the nail-biting first contact with the ornithine, and a leap of faith that brought us into the maze sector. Each step showed our courage and our flaws. Each decision reflected both our optimism and our fears. But through it all, we refused to stay small. Now, the galaxy was looking to us for leadership or at least guidance in using the maze sector crystals. And that opened a door we could never have imagined just a few short years. This point, there's a lot to think about. Should we reach out to every civilization we can, sharing the secrets of these crystals in hopes of building trust? Should we protect our discovery, limiting its use to allies who meet certain standards of peace and fairness? The choices we make now could define our place in the cosmos for centuries. But one thing is clear: humans are no longer bystanders. We have the power to influence how stars connect, how information flows, and how alliances form across light years of space. It's not an easy path, and it comes with risks. Yet this moment offers a glimpse of what's possible when daring ideas meet unwavering will. This entire story, from the first hint of cosmic signals to the triumphant return from the maze sector, is a reminder that the future isn't something that just happens to us. We help shape it every time we dare to chase dreams that seem impossible. Yes, it's about politics, technology, and galactic power, but it's also about the human spirit, the spark that pushes us to explore, to innovate, and to cooperate for something larger than ourselves. Looking back on our journey, you might feel a spark of pride in what humankind can accomplish when we unite around a common goal. And if you're feeling that sense of hope, if you're thinking, this is exactly what I needed today, then hold on to it. Let it remind you that the same drive fueling our leap into the galaxy can also power the everyday changes we need here at home. Now it's your turn to keep this conversation alive. Share your thoughts on humanity's place in the galaxy, how we might handle this new power, and what alliances we should form. Join the discussion and see how your ideas might influence the next phase of our cosmic story. And if you want more content that dives into the mysteries of interstellar travel, the nature of distant civilizations, or the futuristic tech that could turn these dreams into reality, check out the other videos on this channel. We're just getting started, and there's a whole universe of stories waiting to be told.